Greetings all, it is I, Deadly Sam, and welcome back to more Let's Translate Trails of Beginnings. Right now, we are on top of Orcus Tower, and if I take a step forward, I'll be taken to the final dungeon, I imagine. Everything from this point, aside from going up here, is like optional. And I'm just gonna give you guys a heads up, we're not going to the final dungeon in this video. That will be a different video. There's a few things, optional things mainly, that I want to do in this one, but I've heard that there is something very important that is optional that I was recommended to translate, and so I think I will do that. I was told as soon as I get access to walking around all of Crossbell in the final chapter, go to the prison, because apparently there is something there. Now, I guess I should mention a few things. I have kind of been messing around in the final chapter a little bit. I went back to the... not there. I went back to the Castle of Mirrors. Where is it? What the hell? Yeah, I went back to the place with the machine. The professor and Kia and everyone had finished analyzing it. They didn't tell us anything new, though. It was just kind of like telling us what we already knew about Eleusion, and basically, yeah, that equipment was there to hide the construction of the reverse Babel, and it was doing things like manipulating the way that boats were going across the lake so that they wouldn't notice it. Pretty insane. Another thing, I went to the Reveri corridor. Obviously, the fourth stratum is now available for us to conquer. However, we now, according to the mirror, we have our memories from the real world now. Because apparently Eleusion's been trying to interfere with the mirror world, the Reveri corridor. But the mirror's been blocking it every time, but still. In order to make us, or give us more motivation to finish this, the mirror let us keep our memories of the real world, but we still can't take our memories back from there. Aside from that, there was one more thing. There's actually a bunch of areas that we weren't able to go to until now. For instance, this place, the Ursula Road. We can actually go to the Stargaze Tower, and there was a monster there to beat just for some RP. Just an optional boss. It wasn't even difficult, but yeah, somewhere along this road, there were some guys fishing, and there's a side quest now where you can catch the biggest fish, or like one of the rarest fish. But the thing is, you need to have caught every other fish in the game up to that point, and I'm at like 10 out of 26 or something. So I haven't, I don't think I'll be doing that. But yeah, there's probably still a bunch of other optional stuff. This was the only one that I was told to do. And I was told this by someone who's already beaten the game and who understands Japanese. So I am willing to put my faith in them. I guess we have to go all the way to the end. Is it possible to... okay. Yeah, I can just teleport there. I thought I was going to have to do the whole thing again. Okay, so there's Dudley. I assume this is what he meant. There's just two police officers. Well, one of them's Dudley. And the other one's France. Let's see what they have to say. Good work, Dudley and France. Sorry, you seem to be busy right now. Oh, Lloyd and you guys. Regnitz and also McLean, you came too. Are you all done preparing for the operation? We're actually still in the middle of doing it, as well as like doing our training. What about you, Dudley? Why are you guys here? We came to investigate and clear up the event that took place in this room, or the case. But if the people directly involved in it, including Hemisphere, are here now, then that works for us. Can you help us with the investigation? We're gonna be helping a police investigation? Oh, how boring. I leave this to you, Su-chan. Excuse me? But why do their names, as well as my name, come up? Well, you see, we found something there that's kind of, we don't know how to deal with. Like a remnant. So we were discussing, like, if we heard what happened from the people directly involved, then maybe we would be able to, like, find out more about it or something. Could you mean... I see. If that's how it is, then this definitely might be my time to shine. Thank you. McLean and Rufus, and you two, let me hear what you have to say. If you cooperate with us now, I promise not to do any searching into your backstory. Well, I guess we can't refuse after you say that. We were kind of focused back then, so I don't know how much we'll be able to, like, remember that'll be of use. In that case, I should be able to supplement your story with the stuff that I know. Very well, I shall accompany you two. But still... yeah, that stickler for the rules has gotten a lot, nicer over the years. What are you whispering about over there? Of course, you're gonna help us too. The artifact, the heavenly regalia, huh? As a member of the church, it's my job to collect these things, but it's gonna be hard when it's, all in pieces like this. Sorry, we couldn't help it. It had completely fused with the Emperor. And he was a complete monster by that time. It was like the artifact resonated with his obsession with these two. And then he became a monster. That can happen? There's a lot of things we don't know about the artifacts, but still. Artifacts reacting to the thoughts of people, and then changing them. This isn't something that hasn't happened before. That's a double negative, so it has happened before, is what she's saying. Yeah, but for this regalia, it's completely lost its power. If it's like this, we might as well just leave it to the police, honestly. Okay then, once we've finished making the report for this case, we'll send him over to the, like, cathedral. And thanks to you two, we've gained more insight on what happened when this place was attacked. Though finding out the true identity of this Emperor is going to be a bit hard. Well, that guy has nothing to do with Crossbell, so you should probably just give up. Yeah, and also that organization doesn't show any mercy to people prying around about them. We were there for a few years, and even we don't understand, like, any details about the place. That's kind of similar to the organization. Alright, she means the other organization, Ouroboros. I said this before, but they're both called the organization, but they're both different words in Japanese. However, since he appeared in Crossbell, it's my duty to not overlook this as a investigator. We'll have to be wary of them in the future, same as the Ouroboros. We'll probably have to work with the guild too. Yes, we should share this information with all of the other guild branches across the continent. But you said that that guy himself was a fake, right? The simulacrum, right? The new ruler, Arios, and even McBurn was recreated. Yeah, with McBurn, he didn't even notice he was a fake. It's insane technology. For a Lucian who can read the future, calculating everything about a single person would be possible, I think. But from what Nardi and Swin said, yeah, that Emperor was slightly different to the one that we knew. It was one thing during battle, his, like, strange little habits had changed for, like, no reason. But I think the thing that changed most between the real and the fake was that he was willing to overlook our betrayal. Death to all traitors. That was his creed. And also he had a habit of doing things like making you kill your partner for, like, forgiveness, and he relished in that. If you don't know what he's talking about, you gotta read the book. It's explained a lot there. So yeah, that definitely couldn't have been the real Emperor. In that case, why was he made that way, or reproduced in that way? I mean, it makes sense, right? There's no, like, meaning in it, and anyone who knows that person intimately would be able to tell they're a fake, right? Isn't it a bit unnatural, considering that Ellucian can supposedly read the future and, like, calculate everything about a person? That's... Now that you mention it, it does seem kind of like, not logical for an artificial intelligence. This is just a bit of a thought experiment, but... What if we didn't kill him there? What kind of actions would he have pursued? Indeed, he probably would start to think of us as, like, the best tools for even overcoming him. And then he'd probably try and brainwash us completely again to get us to come back to him. And then the possibility that he'd overlook our betrayal wouldn't be zero. Is that what you're trying to say? And in fact, the fake emperor really did talk about stuff like that. Oh god, now my head's starting to hurt. Sorry, I just thought I'd try saying it. Maybe that wasn't very like me. Talks about, like, talking about the whats and ifs of things doesn't really matter at this point. I don't know why it's spelled if in English, but interesting. We still don't know the details about those fakes, but there is no such thing as perfection in this world. Even for Ellucian. Yes, the strategy that the prince and the others are thinking of right now is probably going to exploit that imperfection. And Dudley, you're helping with that too, aren't you? Yes, but I'm just a support role. But I imagine everything will be dependent on you guys. Bannings, I won't be able to accompany you there, but you better grasp the truth and come back. You too, McLean. I leave them to you. Yes, I'll make you guys and Guy proud. Thanks so much. After that, they parted ways with Dudley and the others, and went and started acting again. Okay, that was interesting. I'm guessing that doesn't necessarily mean anything right now, but I've heard that by doing this, you actually get a certain achievement or a trophy when you reach the final boss. So I'm guessing maybe knowing that, or like having that talk with Dudley, maybe changes some dialogue in the final boss. It might actually... Well, okay, I won't say anything for now. But yeah, that got me thinking though, when they said about Ellucian... Sorry, I keep cutting off. When they said about Ellucian replicating, like, what a character would do if they were still alive, or that kind of thing. Now I'm starting to think that the other Reen really is a creation, and he's not actually the mastermind. But I honestly have no idea. If that fake Reen isn't like some kind of apparition from like the world where the bad ending did happen in Trails of Cold Steel 4, then I don't really have any good guesses as to who the real mastermind could be. Because it's obviously, it can't be a human. There's no way that a human could take over Ellucian, right? I don't know, it's going to be a while too before I end up doing the final dungeon, probably. I guess for now, I think I will continue to wander around a bit in the final chapter. Okay, so what my plans for this video was gonna be that, and then I'm gonna do the remaining 6 missions, or special episodes, in the Reveri corridor. And then I'm gonna, for the final part of this video, I'm gonna talk about that, but that'll be a few days later for me, because I've actually got something going on tomorrow too, so I probably won't be able to record anything for a while. And what do they say? The people of this village really helped us out, didn't they? Yeah, thanks to them, we were able to get through that, ensiegement. The strength of supporting one another, huh? That has absolutely nothing to do with me. Rufus? Kind of cute, but yeah, if you go around the world, there are a lot of things that, a lot of these active talks. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting so tongue-tied this time. I guess I'm still thinking about that cutscene and what relevance it could have. But anyway, I'm gonna cut now until a few days later, when I've done pretty much everything in the final chapter, aside from the final dungeon, obviously. And then I'll explain to you anything cool that happens. And then next time we're gonna take on the final dungeon. So I guess I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay. I was just wandering around Crossbell, killing all of the monsters that had appeared, because they give like 5 RP each, and I just wanted to do it because it's fun. But I came down here. This is the terminal that was destroyed in the first chapter. Remember that thing that self-destructed? This terminal was caught up in it, and the Emperor... Lloyd saw the Emperor there, but he didn't know who it was. But then we came back here, and they talked about this for a second. Lloyd was like, wait a sec, that was the Emperor. And then he's like, okay, Tio, can you analyze the data if there's any left? So she does, and then it turns out that they were making the Hell modes and the other stuff from before the war started. And Rufus is like, wait a minute, no. That's absolutely impossible. There's no way that could ever happen, and not like... Because if they were being made, they would have been used in the front lines, obviously. So then Kia says... or like, they're like, maybe these are, I don't know, maybe these are just wrong. And then Elise is like, no. For them to be wrong, there's way too much, like, consistency and, like, it seems real. And then Kia's like, maybe... this is what it would have looked like if they really were being made from before the war. And then Lloyd hears that. It's like, what? And then after that, I think doing this, the prison one, and also looking at the machine left in the tower unlocks this cutscene here that I haven't been able to show. But Lloyd kind of pieces it all together. He's like, finally, we've got to look at the truth. Now all I have to do is determine the true culprit or the true mastermind behind this case. And then we got 7 RP. And then he says, watch me, brother. So that's cool. Holy crap. So I think I might, if there is like an extra cutscene, like after the final boss or before the final boss or whatever, then I think I've fulfilled the conditions in order to get it. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Anyway, I'll see you again in a bit. Okay, and I am back. I would like to apologize for how incoherent this episode structure is, but... oh god, sorry. I just wanted to kind of get everything out of the way before we do the final dungeon, so that the next time I can just start and do the final dungeon. But yeah, it has been like 2 days since the last time or since the first part of this video, and I'd like to start by going over what what you guys have missed and I've been doing off screen in the special episodes / mini games. So for this one, I got 3 red thingies which unlocked 3 new mini games. One of them was a new one for this, but since I couldn't even beat the first level, I haven't even tried it. This one was the second stage of the Project Delphine. And yeah, it was pretty much the same thing. They just tested more stuff, except it kind of concluded on the second one. But for that one, we had to fight against Gaius and then Crow. And Crow's little machine thing looked really cool. Or his Delphine, I guess. He's another... along with Reen, he also has his own specially made Delphine. And it's blue and it looks like Ordine, which is cool. But yeah, they basically just collected more data from them. There wasn't really any plot stuff as far as I remember. And then there was the final episode of Magical Elisa RS. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was so lame at first, but I've completely gotten, like, I'm in love with it now. I don't know. I'm actually gonna buy the manga on Amazon. I'm actually thinking about it. Oh, whatever. You don't care about that anyway. So what happened? Yeah, they basically, the underworld or the magic world, which Reen is the king of, or Reen was being taken over by a force that was making him want to invade the human world, and he was wearing the same mask that the fake Reen in this game wears, or in the main story. I can't remember if I'd actually mentioned that yet, but yeah, Reen is the main villain, but he's actually not a villain because he's being controlled, and yeah. So he tries to invade the human world with his army, and then they go to stop him, and he's wearing his mask, and you fight Reen, and his mask breaks, and then you're like, wow, he's free. And then guess who comes out? It's the fucking, it's Black from Trails of Cold Steel 4, or at least, I don't think it has a name, but that's what's controlling him. Apparently it controls the kings of the magic world. And there was some reason why it couldn't control Reen properly, because he'd like lived in the human world up until that point or something. But anyway, we beat that, and the final boss theme to Trails of Cold Steel 4 played during it, which was pretty cool. The first final boss theme, the one where you fight Osborn, not the other ones. And then, because that thing's gone, the worlds go back to their proper way of being, so the magical girls have to go back to their other world, and they can't see Reen anymore, and it's really tragic. But then Yuna wakes up, and it turns out it was all a dream. But not really, kind of, because I didn't mention it, but there's this weird yellow creature called Mona, and that's like helping, that's helping Elisa and the others, and I guess it's from the underworld. But then, yeah, and then that plush appears in the real world after Yuna wakes up, and she doesn't remember anything. So who knows what's going on with that. Now I'm kind of like hoping they make a sequel to it, because I kind of want to know what happens next, but I guess I'll have to read the prequel first. Anyway, I equipped Reen's costume that he was wearing in that one, because it looks cool. That's his prince costume, or whatever. Anyway, on to the 5, I think there were 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, oh no, there's 6 of these. And I guess we'll start with the second part to the new Orbital Gear research thing. So basically, it starts with some meeting, and they're talking about some stuff, and I can't really remember what they're talking about, but it doesn't really matter. And then Tita starts the test that her mom made her do, because that was the other condition to her being allowed to stay in the Empire. So she doesn't hijack, she has permission and uses the thingy fortress that you went through in Trails of Cold Steel 3, the one that you kept going through like after each chapter. And she like modifies that, and then gets Joshua, Estelle, Ren, Reen, Ash, and Kurt to like fight you during it. It's like the trial. Kind of interesting. Then you get to the end, and she's got her own robot that she modified from a archaism, and then a god, and then basically those two fight you. There's kind of some funny dialogue between, because she starts saying she's going to warm up, and then starts blatantly attacking a gut, and everyone's reaction is just pretty funny. But then they win, and then Tita still thinks, even though she passed, her mom's going to make her go back to the Empire because she failed the first part of the test. But then, to her surprise, that didn't happen at all, and her mom lets her stay in the Empire, which is really cute. Anyway, this one, Recollection of the Witches, or Witches' Recollection. Let's go with that. So this one was really fucking long. Oh my god. And it's basically Emma's cleaning Roselia's room when she finds a notebook, or like a journal from her mom, who is dead and died like many years ago. And we get to find out just how she died. So basically, for some reason, another spirit cavern appears. White comes, and it's like, maybe it has something to do with the book, because it said something like to take it to the proper place, and then you'd be able to read it. And then you do that, and there's like a bunch of little mini fights that you have to do, and then each time new information gets filled in the book. And it turns out that her mom Oh, I've forgotten her name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Asolo or something. Anyway, she dies fighting the previous Alberehi, who was actually the leader of the DG cult, I think they said. I'm pretty sure that's how it was. Anyway, they both killed each other, and that's how it ended. And then there was a weird thing where, like, they were talking with Emma's mom from the past. I can't remember exactly how they explained it. It was like her remaining memories or will or something. And apparently she looked into the future and knew everything that would happen in the future. So she was able to, like, talk to Emma and Vita and, like, Celine and everyone else. And it was kind of sweet because, like, Emma got to say goodbye to her mom. And, like, even though she knew she was going to die, she still went off to fight Alberehi, whatever the fuck his name is. And yeah, it's all very cute, and then it ends. And this one was fucking weird. It has to do with Lecter and Lucy and Chloe. But that's only for, like, a very small part of it. Basically, it starts with him going to the Heimdall, like the place where the Spiral of Erebos, or whatever it's called, the final dungeon Trails of Cold Steel 3 appeared. They go to that place, and they're, like, having a tea party, whatever, then Lecter gets called away. Then it skips back in time to, like, ages ago, and there's, like, this, or the same day, but, like, the morning, and Lecter's, like, in a meeting with the Information Bureau people. And then he gets told to, well, a lot of stuff, like, happens. It seems that Lecter's not very popular in the thing, and everyone's blaming him for, like, what's going on in the country right now. And then he gets told to go to Crossbell, or, well, he speaks with his friend for a bit, and they kind of, like, talk about a bunch of stuff I don't really understand. And then he gets told to go off to Crossbell to suss out the signing ceremony, because it's before then. So then he's on the train there or something, and then he meets Milliam, and then they talk a bit, and then he kind of explains, he kind of monologues for a bit about, like, his reasons for siding with Osborn, and what he, like, thought of him and stuff. And it turns out that, like Rufus, he was just, like, looking for a reason to live, almost. But then he kind of lost that when Osborn died, but I guess now is just doing everything he can. Anyway, on that same train, he almost gets assassinated, and there's a plot twist. It was actually his friend from the Information Bureau who's trying to assassinate him, because he wants to go over to Calvard to join a different Information Bureau. And Lecter, like, basically saw everything coming. He has Milliam, like, help him in a roundabout way, like, to stop them from assassinating him. And then he talks about this new Information Bureau that he's making or some shit. I don't really get it. It was a few days ago I did this, so I'm kind of, my memories are a bit fuzzy. But then he's kind of, like, contemplating life on one of the rooftops, like, after he met with Chloe and Lucy. And he's like, damn, why am I living? What am I doing? And then Chloe and Lucy come and, like, cheer him up, and then they force him to go to La Balle with them. I mean, we don't get to see that part, but they like, drag him with them to the airport, and I guess he goes on holiday to La Balle. Okay, now this one. Oh, right, the name. I don't fucking know. It had some weird name. It's probably, like, poetic. Something like Signpost Towards Reunion or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, this one. The Ultimate Wild Food or something. It features this guy, Freddy. I fucking love him so much. He's actually a god, though. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, so then so what happened? This fucking guy's face, oh my god. Okay, so it's like a week or 2 weeks before the wedding, and they're, like, trying to get people to cook for the wedding, for, like, a standing up thingy, like, separate to the main course. So they hold, like, a competition at the branch school. And this guy decides to enter along with everyone else from the cooking club. And so this is him. He, like, he gets told by everyone at the start. Oh, fuck's sake. It starts with him being told by, like, everyone in his, like, class that nobody wants to eat bugs, even if he makes them taste good. So you should go for something normal if you're gonna do it, for like a buffet type thing. And he's like, that's weird. Do people not like my bugs? So then he asks Margarita for advice on like some good ingredients, and she tells him to go here. There's like some illusionary beast that's food, or that's meat tastes really nice. So he comes here hunting it. But anyway, let's get to why I actually decided to show you this. Okay, so this guy's a fucking god. So you see there's enemies around here. They don't notice him because he's a master of stealth. And you might be like, what happens if I get into combat with one of them? You don't. He just kills everything in one hit. This guy is the strongest character in the series. And in this video, I'm going to explain why. Okay, so he can do anything. He can kill anything in one hit. He sounds like a fucking madman. He uses just a weird, like... Actually, is that tridents? Bruh. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, aside from just killing things in one hit, I'm pretty sure I managed to kill something just by standing next to it. It was one of these guys. I can't remember how I did it. But like, I just walked next to them and it just exploded one time. I couldn't replicate it again. So, this guy is actually like the god. I feel like the Grandmaster wouldn't stand a chance against him. Anyway, moving on. So you came, but you're too weak. Taste my ultimate final strike. That'll also get the blood out of you so that I can prepare you or some shit. Ogi. Hakuketsuju. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to translate that, but basically I wanted to show you. Yeah, he has a secret S-craft. I wanted to show you that. Anyway, back to the Reverie Corridor. So yeah, after getting the legendary meat of that weird carrot-wielding monster thing, he goes back to the branch school and prepares his food. And it shows you the whole contest. It's so good. So they have, for the judge, they have, of all people, Roselia, and also Marquis Ballard. And then also some guy who works with Marcius, who I can't even remember his name because he's not really important. Anyway, there's like nearly 10 entrants or something to the contest, and they judge them all, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty funny, actually. Roselia and Ballad like don't get along at all, and they have some really funny moments. I think the whole episode, I just like it just because it's so fucking light-hearted and just funny. But also, it's not too long either. And I just think it's a really good episode. So I think that might actually be my favorite one so far. This Ultimate Wild game or whatever. But yeah, Freddy prepares this thing. It's actually a real dish, apparently. Shabu shabu. What does it mean? Yeah, so basically what it is it's raw meat. And then there's like a vegetable sauce that's like over a grill or something that's still being heated. You put the meat in there and then it cooks in like the vegetable sauce. And yeah, and then you eat it. So that's what he did. He made that and everyone loved it. There were a bunch of other ones before him, like Yuna made pretzels. Someone made risotto. Tita made pasta. But they were all getting pretty good praise from the judges, and in the end it turned into like everyone just eating the food. It was just really nice, like pretty cute. I like that episode a lot. Speaking of episodes I like a lot though, this one is so funny. Oh my god. You can see from the thing that it's got Jingo and Ballad, who are two of my favorite non-important characters. Well, I guess Ballad was, well, I guess they're both kind of important. They have their moments in the plot, but they're not like main characters. But both of these guys are probably two of my favorite non-main characters. I just love them so much. So, okay, so the name of this one is The Lucky Stone and the Unlucky Airship. And it starts with Jingo in her new store that she opened inside Heimdall. And Josette comes to deliver supplies to her. And then they chat for a bit, and Jingo's like, hey, could you sell me your bobcat? And Josette's like, no, I can't. And Jingo gets really depressed because she wants to do business like better, so she wants an airship. Anyway, she gets depressed because she can't get an airship, and Cerberus, her dog, brings her a stone, a golden shining stone, And she doesn't think anything of it, but she kind of like puts it up for sale anyway. And then it switches over to Ballad's perspective too. And he's been assigned to look over the Juno Fortress by Muse. And he's very upset about it, because he's got a lot of work while Muse is just like not really doing anything. And she's like basically ordering him around and telling him what to do via letters. But he's also annoyed because he can't, like, he's not really within walking distance of a city or like anywhere. So he wants to get an airship. But then his butler says, no, you shouldn't do that, because remember what that fortune teller girl said? And he's like, I don't care about that, let's get the ship. So he buys the ship against the fortune teller girl's like wishes. And then it cuts back to Jingo, and it turns out that fortune teller girl was also in the city, the Heimdall. And she comes to visit Jingo's store, and she buys the golden stone off of her, because apparently it's a fragment of a stone from La Belle, which is like said to bring good fortune. And it's also, I think it's the same stone that was in that one episode in Trails in the Sky 3rd. That was one of the ones I watched. I really liked that one. It was really cute. So yeah, I think it's a direct reference to that. Pretty cool. Anyway, she instead of buying it off her, she trades it for a weird doll thing. And then she leaves. Like, Jingo doesn't really give a shit. She's like, whatever, I got a doll, I guess I'll sell that next. And then switches back to Ballad. His airship has arrived, and it's not what he thought it was. It wasn't like a Pantagruel airship thing or anything. It was just the Rhineford, like, normal one. And like all of the airships he wanted to get were like already sold out, or like he couldn't get it for one reason or another. So he's really depressed, but he's like, whatever, it's an airship, who cares? Okay, so switch back to Jingo now, and still in her shop in the capital, Shirley, of all people, comes in and is like, yeah, let me get some weapons. And then she sees the doll and is like, damn, I really want this, but I don't have the money to pay for it, so I'll trade it. I'll trade you my, like, Orbal mine for it. And Jingo's like, oh, that's cool. Apparently it was a mine that, like, reacts to magic instead of, like, motion. And apparently Mariabelle made it from the organization. So she's like, that's cool. And then, yeah, she leaves. They talk a bit. It's cool. And then switch back to Ballad, and he gets inspected by Marcius, because he bought the ship, like, quite soon after being assigned the fortress. They thought he was doing things with his money that he shouldn't have been. And, I mean, he's already been, like, exposed for doing just that. So, like, they didn't give him warning. They just showed up. And it was Marcius. And then Marcius, it's kind of funny, like, because he goes over, like, everything he's bought. And it turns out he's been buying, like, books and stuff, like, how to make up or, like, get along well with a younger relative. So it seems that he is trying to, like, he does really like Muse, and is trying to, like, fix his relationship with her, I guess, but not really having any luck. And then Marcius kind of, like, wishes him luck. And then, yeah, he has, like, a bunch of stuff, and Marcius kind of, like, not exactly pokes fun at him for it, but, I mean, it's just pretty funny anyway. Then he learns that, like, the only reason Marcius is there is because of he heard about the ship, and that's what prompted the investigation. He's like, God damn, that stupid ship. And then you switch back to Jingo, and Zeo and, wait, what the fuck are their name? Leo, the two guys from Zephyr, Fee's friends, they come, and they buy some stuff, and then they notice the Orbal mine thing that Shirley gave Jingo. So then they trade for that with, like, a golden Mishi statue, which apparently used to belong to Hartman. And apparently they did some work for Hartman, and then he got arrested, and then he gave it to them, or, like, they got that as, like, their reward or whatever. But he didn't need it, so he traded it for the Orbal mine, because he's the trap master, and he wanted to dismantle it and stuff. And then you switch over to Ballad again, and there's, like, some kind of, not briefing, some meeting, like, over in a different part of the Empire. So he's using the airship for the first time after getting it. And that's when it's on his way there that he crashes, because I guess, I'm guessing the Emperor was, like, responsible for that, because he wanted to manipulate Tita into, like breaking her orbital gear so he could get that gravity manipulating like engine or whatever. And yeah, Balad was caught up in that. Tita saves the day, but you don't really get to see it because you already saw it in a different episode. And he's like, God damn, I hate this airship, just scrap it. And then it cuts back to Jingo, and she's gone to Crossbell to sell the Mishi, the golden Mishi thing. So she like puts out like, I guess, an ad saying she's selling it. And the first one to show up is Tio. But then she doesn't, and like Jingo's gonna give it to her for free because she respects how much she loves Mishi. She's like, okay, take it for free. But then Tio's like, no, that would be a disrespect to Mishi. So, but she doesn't have much money, so she offers instead to give her an airship that had been given to the corporation for like scrapping, but then no one wanted to scrap it because it was like perfectly working. It was like barely been used. So then Tio sorts out for her to get the airship, and then that's how Jingo got the airship that she used to help Rufus on his route. So that was kind of some cool backstory. I really like this one too. And then this one, Never-Ending Sword. It takes place a little bit after Oliver's wedding. He hosts an unofficial like martial arts tournament, and basically every strong dude you can imagine is there, including like Reen and Duvali. And you get to fight 2-on-2, except it's not 2-on-2 because they all the strong people all team up with one another, and then Reen and like Duvali and the rest of the weaklings are kind of left on their own. So they form like you get to choose 2 more party members to do it. And then anyways, it's just a tournament. You end up winning. Like Reen and Duvali exchange a few words. I really like those two together. I love Duvali so much. Yeah, it's just kind of cute seeing Reen and Duvali together. I really like those two. Anyway, that's I think that's honestly about it. Thank you guys for watching. And next time, hold on. Ooh, wait, yeah, that's right. I forgot to show. I did the golden thingies off screen, the golden seal stones, and I got Vita and Victor Arcade. Pretty cool. I haven't actually used them yet, but maybe I'll equip them to my extra gauge. Hold on. I wonder what their orders even are. Break damage plus 300% for 4 turns. And it only costs 3 BP, so that's actually really good. I want to equip that. And then hers, yeah, hers is pretty useless. Wait, no, it's not. You get plus 100% damage for 4 turns. That's actually really good. What the hell am I on about? But I think we're going to stick with Victor's, because I feel like not very many people give break plus that much. And I think I can definitely find some use for that. Anyway, next time... Wait, what am I doing? Next time, we're gonna head to the final dungeon. Reverse Babel. Wait, not there. Yeah, that's how we go there. I think I've done everything there really is to do in the final chapter. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I think I mentioned earlier that I was killing... Wait, what the fuck am I doing here? Oh, I remember. I think I remember I was making some weapons here because there is, in fact, there's like 6 monsters, and they each drop one of these things that you can synthesize into a weapon. But the catch is there's 6 of them, and you have to synthesize 3 into one thing, and that one thing makes the weapon. But the good thing is you don't need anything else to make the weapon. But anyway, long story short, I did that, and I made some ultimate weapons. One of them for Rufus, and one of them for Swin, because I feel like they're 2 of the characters that I use the most. And I wanted to do that. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think that's about everything I need to go over for this time. And next time, we're going to head there to the final dungeon, Reverse Babel. See you guys then.